Hi, fifth graders, it's Mr. Pham, and today we're going to look at SB pages 41 through 42 from your Getting Ready for the Smarter Balance assessment book. Let's dive into number 1. Gabriel made 4 small meatloaves. He cut each meatloaf into fourths. How many 1/4 size pieces of meatloaves does Gabriel have? Draw lines in the model to find the answer. So he has 4 meatloaves, and he's cutting each one into fourths. So each meatloaf, we can use 3 lines to make fourths. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the question is asking, how many meatloaves does he have? We have 4, 8, 12, 16. Gabriel has 16 1/4 pieces of meatloaf. This is also a process of dividing. Okay, so let us just go over the steps of how we would computate dividing fractions. So let's go over our steps. Step 1, we first want to convert the whole numbers or mixed numbers into fractions. Next thing you want to do is to use KCF, which is an abbreviation for keep, change, flip. Okay, and finally, or also the reciprocal, you will multiply across and finally simplify if needed. Okay, so following these 4 steps, pretty similar to dividing fractions and mixed numbers. There's only one extra step, is to use the reciprocal, also known as KCF. Do that, you should be okay. Let's jump to number 2. Camila has a 1/2 pound of raisin that she will divide evenly. Again, we're dividing into 5 bags. Shade the diagram to show the fractional part of a pound that will be in each bag. So here we are starting with just 1/2 pound. Then we will cut that into 5 parts, okay? And we need to make 5 bags out of 1/2 pound. So let's go ahead and set it up. We have 1/2 divided by 5. Step 1 is to convert. We have 1/2 divided by 5/1. Then if you use a reciprocal, KCF, we will keep the 1/2, change division into multiplication. We are going to flip the second fraction, which will be 1/5, which would result in 1/10 if you multiply across. Now the model already has the rectangle divided into 10 parts, so we will shade in 1/10 of that part. Moving on to number 3. A 6-mile hike or a 6-mile walking trail has a distance marker every 1/3 mile. How many markers are along the trail? So here we have 6 miles divided by 1/3. Since there's a post or a marker every 1/3 of a mile. Again, we're going to use KCF. We will keep our first fraction. 6 is equivalent to 6/1. We're going to change division to multiplication, and we are going to flip the second fraction, which results in 3/1. 6 times 3, that is 18. 18/1 will give you 18. So there are 18 markers along the trail. Moving on to number 4. Eric has 4 pieces of clay. He cut each piece into thirds. How many thirds pieces of clay does Eric have? Draw lines in the model to find your answer. So this time we have 4 pieces of clay, and we're going to cut it into thirds. To make thirds, we're going to use 2 lines. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That results in 3, 6, 9, 12 pieces of clay. So Eric has 12 1/3 size pieces of clay. If you want to see the computation, this is going to be 4 divided by 1/3. And if you use KCF, this is the same thing as 4 times 3. Okay, keeping the first fraction, flipping the second one, and changing division to multiplication, which will result in 12, the product 12. Moving on to number 5. Cecilia has 1/3 pound of trail mix that she will divide equally into 3 bags. Shade the diagram to show the fractional part of a pound that will be in each bag. So here we have 1/3, which we're starting with, and we're going to divide that into 3 parts. We can go ahead and just use KCF, keep this first fraction, change division into multiplication again, and we are going to, since we know 3 whole is the same thing as 3 over 1, we're going to flip that baby into 1/3, which would result in the product of 1/9. If you multiply across, it looks like the model has already cut the pieces into 9 parts, so let's just shade 1 piece in. That will give you 1/9. Moving on to number 6. Adrian made 3 granola bars. He cut each bar into fourths. How many 1/4 pieces of granola bar does Adrian have? Draw lines in the model to find the answer. This time we're going to draw, to make fourths, we're going to draw 3 lines. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we should have 12 here. 4, 8, 12. So again, 3 divided by 1/4 is the same as 3 times 4, which will give you 12. Moving on, number 7. Kyle made a loaf of banana bread. He gave equal portions of half of the loaf to 4 friends. Which diagram could Kyle use to find the fraction of the loaf that each friend received? Mark all that apply. Again, mark all that apply. Does imply that there will be more than one answer here. So let's start with 1/2, and let's divide that by among 4 friends. We are going to keep, change, and again 4 will be the same as 4 over 1. So we're going to flip this baby and make it 1/4. That would be 1 over 8. So let's check the shading of each model. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A represents 1/8. B, too many pieces shaded. C, too many separate pieces. And let's look at D. We have 1 out of 8. So it would be A and D, representing 1/8 here. Number 8. Ben is making bread that calls for 5 cups of flour. His measuring cup only holds half a cup. How many times will Ben need to fill the measuring cup to get 5 cups of flour? Alright, we have 5 divided by 1/2, which is the same thing as 5 times 2. Since we are using keep, change, flip, or the reciprocal, that should give you 10. So let's type that in. We have Ben will need to fill the measuring cup 10 times. Okay, and now let's move down to our last problem for the day. Number 9. Tina has half a quart of iced tea. She pours the same amount into each of 3 glasses. Which equation represents a fraction of an ice quart of tea that is in each glass? Mark all that apply. Again, we are looking for more than one answer. We have 1/2 divided by 3. Okay, 1/2 divided by 3, or 1/2 times 3 would be 3 over 1. If you use reciprocal, that would be 1/3 here. So let's look here. We have 1/2 divided by 1/3. That is not going to work. 2, not going to work. 2, not going to work. 2 divided 3 is not going to work. We have 1/2 times 1/3. Matches up what we have there. And then we have 1/2 divided by 3. So the answer would be D and F. Thank you for viewing the video today. Until tomorrow, have a good day.